Welcome back to my MegaMan Battle Network Let's Play. If you remember last episode, we completed the first level, which took place inside of Land Stove, and featured the Net Navy Fireman as our opponent. This time, we're going to be well, you'll see when we get there. Anyways, Land's running late for school, which seems like it's going to be a regular pattern coming up. Well, not in this game, but yeah. Anyways, so we have net news, and we have a message telling us that we have an excuse for being late, or at least a cover. So, what I don't get is, why is it they go through the trouble of giving you these messages in cutscenes, and then you have to read them in emails? Well, I have OCD, but I tend to take care of those kind of things. I don't like having those flashing all the time. Anyways, so we're going to start off by putting in some of those weapons we got from the previous level. So, go through here and show you what ours looks like before and after changing it. The biggest difference between the two folders is that I took out those stupid Mega Bomb chips and replaced them with a couple more cannons and some shockwaves. The reason for this is the Mega Bomb chips take forever to actually hit their target, give the opponent a large window of time to dodge, and you can't move until they hit, so they are useless. Now, if you have the game MegaMan Network Transmission, a sequel to this game for the Nintendo GameCube, which I'm not going to cover in an LP because I don't have any way of recording it, but anyways. If you have the Network Transmission game, they're actually one of the best chips you can use because you're in a side-scrolling game, and they can hit an enemy at any time. You know, enemies above you, enemies below you, enemies in front of you. So, and they deal multiple hits per use, so you'll be doing a lot of damage. They make the final level very easy. But anyways, back to the matter at hand. It turns out the creepy guy is going to be a new teacher at the school, and he collects battle chips. And makes me think of that buffalo-looking guy from the Kids Next Door cartoon. What was his name? Something. Anyways. So, yeah. Weird-looking guy at the school. That's... Last time we had a weird-looking guy show up, he ended up being a bad guy. What do you want to bet it happens again here? So, typical RPG fashion, you want to advance a storyline, you have to talk to everybody. Even when they have nothing useful to say. Like, hey, our blackboards used to be actual blackboards and you needed chalk. Okay, it's important how. This is something interesting. She's hinting at something you can do later in the game. Pick 3 particular chips and you end up with a rare chip for single use. Once you use it, it disappears. This is what is known as a program advance. You combine 3 weak weapons and you get an awesome new weapon to use. And here I accidentally hit no, so let's go back and challenge him to a net battle. Yeah, I'll talk. Wuss. Anyways. And then here we have another hint towards program advances. Whenever it is a weapon that, 3 of the same weapon, they're always going to be in rising order. Like A, B, C, D, E, F, like the alphabet. If you know your ABCs, you're going to be able to figure out a lot of these program advances. However, there's some that will, 3 different weapons with the same letter. Those ones are a little bit trickier to figure out unless you look them up ahead of time, but they'll do a huge amount of damage. In fact, once you get they're the focus of the, meta game, when you're playing against other players. You want to put together folders where you can pick a whole bunch of weapons at once so they're all the same code, and then when you have specific chips come up, you can pull off program advances very easily and do a lot of damage. Anyways, back to what we're doing now. It seems we were right. Our new teacher is a terrorist, and they're going to brainwash the students. And why is this not believable at all? Yeah. So the reason for rising student crime rates is because they're being locked in classrooms with a terrorist speaking on a recording over the loudspeaker. Yeah. I'm sorry, I'm not buying it. You're gonna do something like this. Dude, make it more believable. I mean, what keeps them from... Okay, they can't turn their stuff off, but what keeps them from just not listening? So, big whoop. Worst case scenario, you wait for somebody to come rescue you and you open the door. Until then, you just ignore what the guy's saying. It's not like it's something like, do what we say or we will electrocute you or something dumb like that. It's just an announcement on the loudspeaker. But, anyways, looks like Dex wants to give it a shot and be the big hero. Yeah, something tells me that's not gonna work. Oh well. Nope. Weird teacher guy had a neat little pose when he did his little thing, and Lan has a neat little... Okay. He plugs in and quacks like a chicken. Yeah. I really want to see what it looks like in the real world whenever Lan and Dex have a net battle. Yeah. Okay, looks like it's our turn. So we're going to jack into the classroom blackboard and take down the villain. And Mail here. Mail? Really? Please tell me I'm mispronouncing this. Anyways, she's going to give us our first Navy chip. These are awesome. Well, I'll put it in my folder now so you can see. We're going to take the roll chip and we're going to replace our weakest recovery chip with it. You just wait until you see this. This is going to be great. Anyways, level 2. AC/DC School. It kind of breaks a pattern that forms over the series as a whole. Usually, the final level ends up being a remix of the hero theme or the title's theme. Just, extended and remixed. And you really get this big, pumped up, ready to kick some ass kind of feeling. And here, you get the song for level 2. It's not really that special. I mean, it took me forever to figure this out, but I think I've got the idea. The hero music really comes in when Lan and MegaMan feel like, they're gonna kick some ass and nothing can stop them. They're getting ready to do something big, and... Oh, yeah, first virus, new one, called a Powie, or a Flappy. 60 health, no real element, and their battle chip acts kinda like a Mega Bomb, nearly useless. The later ones... kinda useful, but not really. But now we get to see how these things work. Roll. Does 60 damage to an enemy, which conveniently enough is however much health the enemy has. Freezes time while it works. Will always hit unless the enemy is already flinching from an attack. And heals MegaMan. Yeah, and this is our weakest one. We're getting some awesome stuff later on. So, anyways, like I was saying before. The hero music comes in when Lan's ready to be the big hero and gonna save everybody, and here it's, he's a kid. This is mainly like him showing off in front of his classmates, he's a big hero, he's gonna save everybody, he's so wonderful. He's a kid, you have to remember, he's still a kid, so he doesn't quite have the idea yet on how... Yeah, bad timing. Anyways, B-Tank. Uses the same battle chips that I was saying suck. The little bomb. Or mini bomb. Little bomb. Same thing. Same exact thing. Anyways. 80 health. If they're up close, a sword does great. Otherwise, dodge forward and backwards to make his attacks miss. His attacks will hit an entire column. So you just move forward and backwards, and he'll move up and down. Yeah, like that. Still fairly easy to get rid of. If you're using slow type weapons, and you're going to want to wait until he's standing still, but you're going to want to remember to move out of the way of his attack so you can hit him before it hits you. Okay, anyways, like I was saying, he's the kid, he's, first adventure. He's not going to have the mindset of, how seriously a situation this is. So it plays the hero music now because he's thinking, oh yay, I get to be the hero, and he's thinking of himself as a hero. It's his big moment. Not really the best explanation for something like this, but it makes the most sense, at least for me. So I guess I can understand why they picked the hero music for the level 2. I still think it would have been better if they picked it for the final level here, but it's still not a bad tune. Anyways, so their excuse for why the levels are made the way they are and all the long confusing things is that the viruses and the enemy net navy and all of that are tearing up, their mere presence is tearing holes in the network. And yeah, I really don't like that explanation too much, but it's the closest one we've got, so just go with it. Now, this level kind of shows where things get interesting with the Mega Man games. See, here we have a locked door, and is protected with a password. Unfortunately, they give you a hint. Number of chairs. Yeah, some security. Oh well. So, it turns out that happens to be the room we're locked in, so we switch from Mega Man to LAN, find the answer for the password, and then we can relay the information back. Alright, 9 chairs. Yeah. That's gonna keep people out. Yeah. Big whoop. Who uses a password system like that? I mean, I know it's a game, but still, can you come up with something better? Oh well. I mean, why do you... Yeah. Big on security. No wonder the villain managed to take over so quick. Well, anyways. Yeah, I lost my train of thought. Damn it. Oh well. I can't even remember what I was talking about. Oh, yeah, anyways. This level will help get the dynamic across switching between LAN and Mega Man. Not every level uses it, but they use it to, a believable extent. You'll see, there's more to it than just the doors. There's not much to it than the doors, but it's actually rather believable with some of the things that come up. Like, for example, well, here we have another one. We need to find volumes of History of the World. Now, here I make a bit of an oversight. I read that we're in the library area, but here I'm busy searching the classrooms for the History of the World books. It's a school. There's books everywhere. You'd think they'd have some. So, I end up wasting a lot of time being stupid and wandering through here for the book stuff that it pretty much told me already where I'm supposed to look. So, we're heading to the library. Okay, we're heading to the next classroom. Well, yeah, I probably should have fast-forwarded it here, but, well, we get 2 things. One is we get to show that you can find battle chips in the scenery if you're willing to search for it. And 2, it kind of shows how I'm going to edit these. I'll edit out things like, I'll speed up the battles, and if I'm covering old ground I already covered. But other than that, I'm not gonna try to edit it to make it look like I know exactly what I'm doing. If I make a mistake out of my own stupidity, I'm gonna leave it in. Make this a believable LP. It's like doing save states on an emulator. I'm not gonna do that. That's just cheating. Same general idea. If I do something that makes me look bad, I'm gonna leave it in. If it's something that's just gonna be a waste of time, like, repeated battles in an RPG here, I'll fast forward. Unless it's something that shows something new. Then I'm going to show it. Anyways, here we get a little hacking mini game. Not much for hacking, it's basically guess the number. We get told if it's too high or too low like you can see, and we have to figure it out. So we have the first digit right, second digit's off, and we're too high. So we know we're close. Okay. Still off. We'll figure this out eventually. The one that really sucks is the, when you take too many guesses, then you're gonna have to start over and it picks a new number. But generally the easiest way to do is pick the halfway point, figure out if you're too high, too low, pick the halfway point there, and just cut it down that way until you're down to just a couple numbers. Then it's the easiest way to get through it. Now, for a while, this game was actually rather infamous when it comes with emulators, because this is where the copy protection kicked in. I don't exactly understand the details, but one of the doors in particular here would be one of the, guess the number, but it would also be disguised as the copy protection. And what would happen is, if it registered that you were playing on an emulator, then it would not actually have a correct number. And so you would spend forever guessing numbers, and you would never ever get the correct number. Now, apparently by now, these emulators have gotten accurate enough that it fools the game. You know what you're gonna get. You're gonna be able to finish the game. There's a similar case in game number 4, which is the worst one in the series, but for different reasons, where it's actually impossible to finish the game, even on some models of Game Boys, because it triggers the copy protection and actually makes a particular level impossible to finish. I believe it's the Woodman level in Battle Network 4 is made to where it's impossible to do because of the random battles. And the way the game is made, if you hit that point, you might have a chance to get around it, but you're gonna have to start your game over from the beginning, which, given how bad the game is, you're not gonna want to do that. And here we hit one of my favorite parts of the level. Mega Man's stuck in a trap, he can't move, and it's up to Lan to save him. Whatever is making the trap ends up somewhere near the AV room, so we've got to go investigate and see why Mega Man can't move. And we get our little hint here that something's not going on. Now, considering he's the one that locked us in, you'd think he'd be more alert to the fact that we're not locked in anymore. Something's wrong, and honestly, he grabs Lan, problem solved. But anyway, so we got a repair chip, and there, that's what I like. The big trap. The computer's out of memory and it's frozen. Mega Man is stopped because of a frozen computer. It kind of gives the idea that, it's, I don't want to say realistic, but you get the general idea. It's more believable. The program's not going to function right because the computer he's in is busted. That actually makes sense. I liked that. That was nice. So we got another little hacking game here, and alright. Figure this out eventually. Any minute. And crap, now we gotta start over. But fortunately, it was only the first number that changed, so we can just flick through these, and we've got our answer. Oh, don't have our answer yet. Could have sworn it was only the first number that changed. Odd. Oh well. Now we've got it figured out, finally. Now, given the villain, for this particular level, you'll understand why it's locked doors for a theme, but see, here's something else. New virus, handy. Time bomb 1. You lay down a bomb on the enemy field, it ticks down to 0, and then it blows up and hurts everything. 80 health. Thing is, though, it's possible to destroy the bomb before it goes off, so you have to be careful about where you put it. Now, these ones, when you have a boss, the bosses in the game and the enemies in the game are going to be focused on shooting you. So these bombs are really useful against in-game enemies. Now, if you're playing multiplayer, you're going to be fighting someone rather intelligent, and if they see a big ass-kicking bomb being plopped down on their side of the field, they're going to stop what they're doing, and they're going to attack it and make sure it doesn't go off. So, best case scenario, you've got a distraction. Not much for, competitive play. Which is actually a lot of fun, apparently. I've never known anybody with the same copy or the same game near where I live, but I live in a small town in the middle of nowhere in Washington, so I don't really have that many people to compare game libraries with. It would be fun to set this up. Wish I knew how to run the net play for VBA. It'd be nice to get to play against somebody. And here we have the final piece of the puzzle we need. Take cannon C, plop it in place. Now, remember what I said earlier about program advances and how awesome they are? Well, here we get one of the weakest ones in the game. And here we need an ID card from Miss Mari, the teacher. So we gotta go look for her. Batty said he was in the nurse's office, but of course I'm stupid enough to actually check the nurse's office. And here's another moment of stupidity from me. There's a couple great big giant doors, and I don't check them. No idea why. Anyways, so where was I? Oh yeah, program advances. Anyways, so you got the like I said, A, B, C, the same weapon, and you got a program advance. Turns out now we've got A, B, and C. You'll get to see it work in action later on. So we untie the teacher, and this is part of why the games aren't really that believable on the most part. I mean, real life, you've got the, oh yeah, gotta find a place to put the ID thing. But, anyways, so while I struggle with that, like I was saying, real life, you find the teacher, you untie her. You would think the first thing she would do would be try to call the police, try to call the authorities, government, army, I don't care. Terrorists in the school, call somebody who can take care of it. I mean, yeah, it could be very plausible that the villains cut off communications or something. I wouldn't mind. It would leave the story in the same general point, but it would be more believable. Instead, you find a teacher, you untie her, she happily, instead of doing anything remotely useful, simply gives you her ID card without question and stands in a supply closet. Doesn't move. I mean, how hard would it have been to simply show her running off and trying to call the authorities in a different room, and then the phones aren't working, and the computers are all hacked, so she can't send an email or a cell phone signal or anything like that. That would make a lot of sense. This doesn't. Why don't they do anything helpful? They just stand there. Why? I mean, the villains are the same way. Some of these villains, you're going to be standing in the same room as them. All they've got to do is just, yeah, it's a kid's game. Don't shoot the kid, but still, punch him out, knock him out, hold him down, do something. Instead, they just stare at him and watch everything. Why? But, anyways, here's the boss battle. And the villain's motivation. He's in it for the money, to buy rare battle chips, because he collects them as a hobby. Yeah, that's like me. I'm gonna be a terrorist so I can buy video games for my collection. Yay! Really? Oh well. Anyways, Number Man. I remember Fireman being from Mega Man 1. I don't know if this was in one of the original games, but second boss, 500 health, no element. Given the way he looks, it would make sense if he was an electric type, but not really. I mean, he isn't. Kinda wish he was, it'd make more sense, but... Well, anyways, it's a fairly simple battle. Everything here has to do with numbers. For example, basic attack, he summons these little balls with the health on them, and you simply find the one with the least amount of health and you shoot it with a buster until it's broken. Find some long-range weapons, like here, I got myself the little program advance I said earlier. Cannon A, Cannon B, Cannon Z, or C, combined together make Zeta Cannon, which is basically 5 seconds of unlimited cannon blasts, and invincibility. So we can't get hit, and we've got 5 seconds to shoot them as much as we want with cannons. True, cannons are fairly weak, especially against bosses, so you're not gonna kill anything with it probably, but it puts a good-sized dent in them for now. Gonna be useless a couple levels later, but it's early game. They gotta give us something cool without making it too strong, and give us the idea to find something later. Now, later on you can get stronger cannon weapons, and then you get Zeta Cannon 2, Zeta Cannon 3, and if you happen to have all 5 of a set, like cannons A, B, C, D, and E, you get Omega Cannon, which is basically like 10 seconds of cannon fire instead of 5, but we've only got those. And here we got Time Bomb. In this case, very useless. He doesn't do anything while we're busy breaking his bomb. Now, if he combined the Time Bomb with his number balls, that would be a decent threat. And then we have Dice Bombs, which is the exact same as the Time Bomb, except you can't see how long you have until they go off. And they're more interesting. It's, at least for the battle chip you get from him, it's the same attack, except that it's, whatever number comes up on the dice times 10. So, like, up to 60 damage, which, considering we only have 100 health, is a lot. Anyways, so you simply stop shooting him when he does something else, and then stand in one place and shoot him. Got an AV chip? Use it. He doesn't move. He's kind of a really bad boss. I mean, Fireman was easier than this. Really. Okay, yeah, something came up, got interrupted, had to come back, and yeah, should have caught that in editing, but too late now. Sorry. But that's it. That's the boss fight. I mean, I know this is early in a game, but that's really just disappointing. I kind of wish they'd have done more. But anyways, Lan picks fun at the villain, and he breaks down in tears. That's kind of sad. Yeah, big villain. Yeah, you lose. Oh no! Yeah. And they just let him go. Really now? What is the... He takes over a school, takes all these kids hostage, and he gets yelled at by a kid. Not even a slap on the wrist. What is the... Trust me, some cases this is gonna bite us in the ass later, and it's just... Oh, that's alright, we fixed the problem, no big deal, you can go, have fun, see ya. I mean, why? I mean, I'm not saying kill all the villains, but at least lock them up for a while, If you want them to show up again later, say they're on parole, or they got somebody to vouch for them in court, or they manipulated the courts, or they broke out. Something. No, don't just let them go. Why? Well, alright. It's the worst part of this game, really. Sometimes it's hard to take it seriously sometimes. I mean, the stakes just aren't really there. It's fun, but there's no real reason why these are a threat. I mean, even the main character that seems to catch on. These guys don't really seem all that dangerous for the most part. I mean, okay, the first guy, he lit some stoves on fire. Okay. Not much sense on the side of evil supervillain, but okay. It's scare tactics, I guess? I mean, the flames didn't really get much further than the oven, and we managed to put them out with a water gun. Yeah, that seems fairly dangerous. Okay, but still, alright. And then, I'm sorry, I can't understand the reasoning with the villains some of the time on these. Okay, so now we hit the second major problem of the day. The train stuck because of viruses. Next episode, we fix the trains. Till then, see you next time, I guess. Well, I hope you're enjoying these. I mean, these are a lot of fun to play, and you should really try them yourself.